our session. And okay, so unfortunately, we do not have a lot of our participants in yet, but if everyone is okay with starting already, because we're already 7 minutes late, we do have the recording of the session, so they could check in on that. And I do hope that next time the participants will be able to join us, ideally before the program. But we do have representatives from Laos, the Philippines, Bangladesh, Nepal, Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia, and India, because Krishna is here. So for our participants, please feel free to say hello again to our to the other participants in the chat box. And as always, we do have the interpretation channels ready. So please select the language that you need at the bottom of the screen through clicking the interpretation icon. And then if you have good internet connection, please turn on your video. And last webinar, we agreed that there will be a presentation. There will be two young farmers who will be presenting the results of their homework to the rest of the group. So the two countries that were selected were Mongolia and Nepal. Okay. And then the rest, of course, you still have to submit the homework, and I haven't received most of them yet, so I will be following up with you. So without further ado, I will give the floor to our presenters. So maybe, is it okay for Binita of Nepal to start?
Namaskar.
Yes, namaste, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm
just
Sharma from CTCF. I would like to say sorry for my inability to join you on video due to heavy rain over here. So I would like to make it clear, but I'm not sure whether network is clear or not. So it may be disturbed.
Yes,
I'm sorry for that, yes, but I would like to answer.
Your audio is okay. Maybe if you could just move closer to the mic or move closer to the phone so that we could hear you more clearly. So you can start, Binita. I'm already sharing in the screen your homework.
Okay. Once again, namaskar. So I'm Binita Lamichhane Sharma from CTCF Nepal. So my age is 30 years and I'm female. So the first question was regarding the crops and the productions. Our main crop is tea and our monthly production is 10,000 kgs of green leaf. Similarly, going to the second question, I'm engaged and we all are engaged in tea cooperative. In order to strengthen our business, we are in process of adding more machineries to produce a wide range of tea products. We have also started training the farmers in how to better manage their farms in order to increase the yield. We have also started initiatives to educate the farmers on sustainability practice that will help them to lead a healthy life. A happy and healthy worker is always a better worker. We have also started better marketing practices by way of more advertisement, rainforest alliance, and organic certification. Similarly, going to short analysis on political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors. Going to the first point, in political strength is that the interest of young people. Similarly, a weakness that no support in terms of subsidies, technical training, and high bank interest rates. In opportunities, a more dedicated and cohesive government can make Nepal the quality capital of the world. And third is that we internal marketing, faulty export policies, and lack of education. Similarly, in economic, potential to high produce of high quality tea that is economically beneficial. Similarly, lack of technical training and lack of education and export potential at remunerative prices so that the farmers benefit. And here, going to trace the bad infrastructure depends on the neighboring countries for inputs. And in social factors, strength is that loyal and dedicated workforce, suitable climate and virgin land, and similarly, lack of education depends on traditional method, lack of technical training still, and similarly young population who can be induced to take up farming, and there is a brain drain and manpower drain by young going to foreign countries for employment, and in technological uh, capacity to understand and implement mechanization, willingness to use information technology, and lack of support and technical training, poor supply, and lack of support for mechanization subsidy, and scale of internet so that the farmers can interact with other countries to know about latest methods and technology use of renewable energy system, and poor power supply system, restrictions for internet usage due to poor infrastructure. Similarly, coming to the environment, distant virgin land and available supply of water from mountain stream, unchecked deforestation, which has led to many native species of flora and fauna being destroyed, and implementation of sustainable practices in harming of government policy to protect forests and water resources, and climate change, drying off of water bodies, and poor soil conservation practices, and going to legal rights, land rights for women, and no proper policies to protect land rights. Extremely complicated access policies, and the next point, a proper land protection policies, equal rights to all, no gender discrimination, and last point, lack of systematic education policies, gender discrimination, and faulty access policy. Similarly, the next questions was regarding what can you do to maximize the strength and opportunity that you have identified with your enterprise and to describe below. And our answer is that strength and opportunities, frame proper law for compulsory education to all, increase technical training and implementations of new methods for cultivation, implement practices that enhance the fertility of the soil and and protect our forest and water resources. And similarly, the last question was that what can you do to address and weakness and threat that you have identified for your enterprise and to describe below. And our answer that weakness and threat prevent brain drain and immigrations by giving youth more incentive to adopt sustainable farming, improve the power situation by the use of renewable energy technology, and impart proper training to all the farmers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benita. Let's give
Thank you,
Benita
Benita.
a clap.
Thank you.
Now, I guess it's better, Dario, no, for the comments to happen now for Benita's report. So Dario can comment, and also for the other participants, please feel free to raise your questions or maybe comment or say if whether you agree or whether you share the same strengths, opportunities, weakness, threats, and threats as shared by Benita for their enterprise. Anyone who wants to comment? Wait, hello? I think someone was about to speak. Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead. I think Benita has given a really comprehensive overview, as comprehensive SWOT analysis of the political, economic, social, and technological, environmental, and legal factors that affect their enterprise. So I guess the focus really is on how to sort of maximize the production of the tea products by adding more machinery. So I guess maybe Benita, in your business plan and so on, you could enumerate what you mean by tea products. Is it, I don't know, is it additional flavors? Not sure. I'm not sure what other tea products there is, or is it another type of packaging, or what, so that people would know what type of machinery you're also looking for. And then I'm also happy that you indicated here that a happy and healthy worker is always a better worker, and there is an emphasis on sustainability practices, which is really important, because sometimes when we say business expansion, people, the business tends to be, well, not destructive, but they tend to have unsustainable ways to do it. But I'm glad to see that your plan includes adopting sustainability practices. Okay, so
Very good.
any
Thank you,
other
Vinita. Thank you. Just a couple of comments for all the participants. Yes, it is good to make the SWOT according to the PESTEL classification. We can do that. Absolutely, as Vinita made. That is excellent. As I mentioned in last time, in practice, let's look at the items that we want to include, and then we look at the classification. Probably you noticed that in Benita presentation, in Benita SWOT, there are some items that needs to be reclassified, considering some internal issues I have noted as external. That is not a big issue at the moment, so we will improve it together. But yes, please, when you after you have written your SWOT analysis, like in this case, perhaps classifying the different the items according to SWOT and the PESTEL, there are the 6 elements of the PESTEL, review everything and see whether you are happy with the classification and whether some items are internal or external, and then move them up and down according to your second review. You also have seen the difficulties of the legal. So the legal classification, we have seen mostly reference to policies. Policies should be policies. In the legal, we should see more about the legal framework, the regulation, and the burden in case that or the advantages that the regulation give us. Just general notes, Benita. So congratulations for your work. Then together we will improve it to reclassify some items that need to be reviewed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Dario. Now we move on to our participant from Mongolia.
Yes.
I think it's, wait for a while. Okay, so I think we need, for English speakers, we need to go to the English channel for that. So yes, so I'm going now to share my screen. Is this it? Okay. Yeah, I think I got it right. Okay, so please go ahead.
Seno 사석진어 За бүгдэд
Yes,
нь
we can
өдрийн
hear
мэндийг
you
хүргэе.
clearly.
I can.
Бүгдэд нь өдрийн мэндийг хүргэе. Монголоос оролцож байгаа Лавгтлам гээд уран одоо хошооны дарга хүн байна. За манай хошооны нэрийг уран авирч гэдэг 2012 онд үйл ажиллагаа эрхэлж эхэлсэн. Одоогоор 92 хүний гишүүнчлэлтэй үйл ажиллагаа эрхэлдэг. Тэгээ манайх одоо малчны хоршоо байхгүй юу? Тэгээд малын гаралтай түүхий болон махан бүтээгдэхүүн одоо худалдаалж ард иргэдтэй үйлчлэгээ авдаг тийм хоршоо байгаамаа. За одоо энэ гой сургалтын сууж аваад бол үнэхээр маш их баяртай байна. Тэгээ та нараас ингээд зөндөө олон арвин туршлага мэдлэг солилцоод өнөөдөр хүртэл ийм ажил эрхлээд одоо ийм орнуудын туршлага солилцоод хоорондоо ингээд уялдаа холбоотой ажиллаж болох тэр мэдээллийг ингэж бидэнд хүргэж өгч байгаад үнэхээр их таатай байна. За манай хошооны үйл ажиллагааны чиглэл гэвэл одоо ерөөсөө ноос ноолоор түүхий мах одоо иймэрхүү үйл ажиллагаад эрхэлдэг дийлэнх голчилсан одоо нөгөө нэг үйлчлэгээ маань иймэрхүү үйл ажиллагаатай байгаамаа. За тэгээд энэ сургалтнаас юу ойлгосон бэ гэхлээр одоо миний хувьд энэ сургалтнаас юу ойлгосон бэ гэхлээр энэ нөгөө төр засагтайгаа яаж уялдаа холбоотой ажиллах уу, эдийн засгийн тооцоо яаж гаргах уу, нийгмийн энэ хүрээллээ яаж мэдрэх үү, тэгээд энэ эрх зүйн орчин ерөөсөө бүх юм уялдаа холбоотой байдаг шүү гэдэг юуг л бүр үнэхээр сайн ойлгож авч байна. Тэгэл одоо нэг ямар ч гэсэн энэ бүх мэдээллээр ингээд өөрийгөө яагаад малчдаа гişүүдтэй ямар мэдээлэл хүргээд явах ёстой гэсэн энэ суур анхан шатны бүх мэдээлэлтгүүн одоо бизнес планаа хүртэл яаж гаргах уу нөгөө ололт амжилт байвч аюул байдаг шүү гэдгийг маш сайн ойлгож авч байна. Тэгээд энэ нөгөө нэг сууд шинжилгээ гэдгийг ингээд хийгээд үтсэн чинь нэрээгээсээ ингээд бодож үзээгүй юмнууд бас зөндөө гарч ирж идэм байна хүнд чинь. Тэр тал дээрээ бас ойлголт зөндөө авлаа. Тэгэл за ямар ч тийм юм байна та. Манай ямар ч гэсэн манай хоршооны үйл ажиллагаа одоо манай хоршоонд юу дутагдаад байна гэхэлэр манай хоршоо одоо махны нөгөө махаа ингээд мачтаасаа авсан махаа бүрэн боловсруулад үгүй хас боловсруулад гэдэг нь одоо англиад ялгаад савлаад тэгээд хэрэглэгчдийн гар дээр одоо гаргахад бэлэн болгох тийм бүтээгдэхүүн одооноос үйлдвэрлэж эхэлж байгаа цэгийн түвшинд нэг том биш зүгээр юм жижиг цэгийн түвшинд үйлдвэрлэх одоо энэ хавраас энэ зунаас одоо ингээд үйл ажиллагаа дараа 7 хоног зөвсөлөд эхлэхээр одоо бэлтгэл ажиллаа хангаж байгаа. Тэгээд одоо нэг юу дутагдж байна гэхлээр тоног төхөөрөмж ер нь бол ингээд бидний үйл ажиллагаа хийхэд ингээд маш их дутагддаг. Одоо бараа бүтээгдэхүүн аягүй их байгаад гэдэг тоног төхөөрөмж хэрхэн яаж ашиглах уу тэр тал одоо биднэрт маш их дутагдчих байдаг. Манай одоо хошоон дээр бол манай хоршоо бас нөгөө нэг малчтынхаа сүг одоо ингээд фермерийн түвшинд одоо малчтаасаа сүгээ аваад тэнгүүдээ авсан сүгээ бүрэн боловсруулаад цагаан эдээ болгоод тэгээ нөгөө нэг чиз буюу бяцлаг ингээд хийх тийм төлөвлөгөөтэй бас байгаа. Тэгээд тэр маань одоохондоо арай зүгээр нэг төлөвлөжл байгаа болохоос одоохондоо яг нөгөө нэг ажил хэрэг болцсон юм байхгүй л байгаа л да манай оршин дээр. Одоо миний зүгээс нэг иймэрхүү төлөвлөгөөтэй байгаа энэ жилийн маань төлөвлөгөө манай хошооны одоо энэ жилийн үйл ажиллагаа болгоно гэхэд харцсан байгаа зүйлс одоохондоо ийм ажил байна. За баярлалаа.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry, I was talking, but I was muted. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Dario, do you want to go ahead
Thank you.
and provide some comments?
Well, same comments, general comments than before. So there are very good points. The analysis is comprehensive, and that is what I am first looking at. So you are starting knowing me, so I am interested in the contents more than in the structure. Obviously, the structure is not useless. It is important as well, but it comes later. So I want to see, and I am happy to see smart and good analysis in your work. And this is what both presenters from Nepal and Mongolia made, and that's the most important. Then together we will adjust the classification, and we will classify several items that need to be moved from external to internal item, and vice versa. That can. What is important is the initially to have idea of what is the situation, internal or external. We will see.
Yes.
Very interesting about cooperatives. So today we will talk shortly about the grouping of farmers, and therefore please recall the Mongolia case study, because there are several points that are relevant for our discussion of and presentation of today. So once more, thank you very much to our Mongolia presenter for a very good job. Thank you very much, and to me as well. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much too. Actually, yeah, about the cooperatives. I was actually thinking that, yeah, I mean, mostly for cooperatives, most of them are old. Or old. And also the people that which is actually surprising, because I learned that in some cooperatives in the Philippines, the dividend that they give out is actually good. Even during the pandemic, they were giving out dividends of 6%, 7%, which is higher than the stock market. So I think aside from encouraging farmers, producers, and pastoralists to be part of a cooperative, I guess there's also another part of encouraging people to invest on cooperatives, so that you have more money to loan out, to finance rural development. So just want to add it. I think, yeah, that is one of my targets this year. Personal targets this year. All right, so now we can move on to our formal program. Let's give a round of applause to our presenters. Thank you very much. And now I give the floor to Dario. Dario, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to open my PowerPoint. Let me see. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So today we move from the theory to some more practical work. We will have the more practical session at the end, the fourth webinar. Today we are finalizing the introduction. Okay. We are talking about the plan of action, and this will be basically our homework. So the homework to prepare for the coaching sessions will focus on preparing our plan of action, and therefore summarizing what we have learned during these 2 and today 3 webinars. So let's go straight into the subject. So with the plan of action, we talk of actions, therefore how we execute, we implement our business idea. And particularly, I want to talk to you about marketing and sales, operations, so how we organize our business, and the partnership, how we connect our agri enterprise to the context, to the external context, and to the value chain. And therefore, in our plan of action, we should also see how to monitor its implementation. That is relevant. You remember that at the beginning, one of the first webinars, we mentioned, and I mentioned the importance of showing those who are reading our business plan, our capacity to keep everything under control. Also to ourselves, we should be sure that we can control our business. This should be should start appearing in the plan of action. What is more specifically there for marketing and sales?
Sorry, Dario, just to cut butt in. There's a comment from the chat box that the voice is not clear.
The voice is not clear.
Yeah, Krishna, it's clear on my end, but I'm not. I mean, how about the others? Is it clear or not?
Yes, please.
It's clear also on our end.
Okay, so maybe
it's clear.
Yeah, maybe it's a question for Krishna.
Oh, thank you very much. Because with this device, it works much better. The computer device, the built-in device, sometimes is not functioning properly.
Okay,
there
so
is something to fix. But with this device, usually it works well. So, Krishna, please check, continue checking if it is not clear. See how to fix it.
Okay.
Therefore, we are talking about these three areas of attention for the action plan, and therefore marketing and sales. We have to look at the general theory of marketing, and therefore to clarify our marketing strategies, put it into a plan, and consider. Oh, good. She said that now it is clear, and look at the main points of marketing, and therefore distribution, the product, the price, the promotion, the branding, all these aspects that are part of marketing. And for operation, very important, the technology, how we organize our business, how we source the raw materials, if we need raw materials, and the inputs as well. And last, for the partnership, how we connect our Agri enterprise to others, particularly how we can collaborate with others. You have seen, for instance, in the Mongolia presentation, the importance that might have for them having an umbrella organization of the similar businesses. So that is a kind of partnership. Therefore, membership in association that can help us, like the Asian Farmers Association, is something that should appear here. Having the umbrella organization of cooperatives in Mongolia is something that should be mentioned there when it exists. So partnership in terms of horizontal cooperation and collaboration, and also vertical collaboration, also with suppliers or customers, for instance. The customer is today one of the key words and one of the key subjects. So I want you I want to draw your attention to the importance of showing the role of customers in our small enterprise, because that is the core. So we are active and we are profitable because we have customers. Without customers, there is no business. There is self-subsistence, which is equally important, but not a real business. And therefore, we go back to the first webinars. Our business plan is because we have customers, and say differently, because we want to satisfy, we want to supply our customers. And because of the concept of customer, we can introduce the concept of value, because value is an element, a business element that we generate at the customer level. It is there that the value is generated. Obviously, we work to create value, but the value does appear in reality because the customer appreciate it, because the customer make it say real. And therefore, this slide is to focus on where the value comes for our customers. You see highlighted high quality products. That is what we are doing, and that is, say, our common understanding and initial understanding. I believe that no one has doubts that a higher quality product can generate, in principle, more value for our customers. We agree on that, and we continue thinking that. But you see, we might have other elements, many of them being intangible. You remember the first day, the smile curve, the production being the group of activities which are generating less added value, and the intangible activities post-production that are generating more value. Here we are talking of some of those. For instance, communication with the customer, the customer follow-up, and before the innovation, our capacity to innovate is creating value. You can easily understand how innovation is also related to high quality products, because with innovation we can improve our technology, and we will improve our technology. And in general, in yellow, you see the competence of the agripreneur and the staff. That is a high element of creating value. Once more, the competence of our competence is related to producing high quality products. It is not disconnected from that, but it requires to be highlighted separately, because it is an element that our customer will assess and can provide our customer with positive feedback on our work. Same like the capacity to innovate, our reputation of being innovative. So let's open a very short discussion on your experience in offering value to your customers. So after listening to this short talk that I gave on things that you are familiar with, it's not that you don't know that or you don't practice that, but the effort here was to give a bit of order to your activities, and therefore now try thinking on yourself and see in which way you can see the relation with your customer in terms of creating value, if any. And how how you communicate with your customers is also important, and your experiences on your competence. If you have seen sometimes that you are competent enough to please your customer, or that sometimes problems happen because you may believe because of your lack of competence, which may happen. So let's try to summarize very briefly, please, your experience. Let me also take something to take note. And who will start? In the two presentations, we saw some points related to this here and there. So I was happy to see that they already started considering that. Now it is your turn. Let me see if there is something in the chat. Yeah, any question?
Yeah. So for our participants, I think Dario's question is very clear, so I don't really have to make it to paraphrase it, but essentially, how do you communicate or how do you sell your products to your customers to, make them buy the products? Okay, anyone who wants to share? And of course, if you have any difficulties in communicating, then please share. Maybe you had an experience of a negative, I mean, you feel that they're not convinced, or you can't persuade them to buy, then you can share. Maybe we could analyze how it can be improved further. Anyone? Shall I use the power of the
wheel
of fortune?
Let's go with the wheel.
Okay, wait. Let me just open it in my. Of course, you could still use the chat box. Okay,
Yes.
let me share my screen.
Should I stop sharing to show the wheel or
Can you see the wheel or not really?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
What about the others?
Can you stop share?
I stop sharing.
Okay. And
yes, now I can see.
Okay, so now let's spin it. Oh, I thought.
I think it is Kyrgyzstan. Yes. Kyrgyzstan.
Okay, anyone from Kyrgyzstan would like to share to us? Okay, let me just, how do I see the person?
Hello, I can hear well.
Okay, let me just stop share. And then for Kyrgyzstan, anyone?
Good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Wholesale. Yep. And I think the challenge with that, it's because it's more of the raw product, the actual crops that are being produced by the farmers, right? It hasn't been processed yet. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good point from Benita in the chat regarding their communication with the customers based on the samples of the product, and then explanation and description of the quality, type, and then the price. That is say, somehow a more sophisticated way of working.
And then we have an intervention from our Vietnam participant.
Vietnam, yes.
maybe request our Vietnamese interpreter to just say it in
Summarize
the
it,
floor.
yes.
Say it in the floor instead. Thank you,
Thank
Hong.
you, thank you, thank you.
And
Thank you very much. Yeah, taking care of customers, that is a very good point. That
yeah,
is
she's
the key word.
clarifying it with Tien. Let's just
Vâng. Vâng ạ. Đối với lại theo em ấy thì em có thể tạo các cái mối quan hệ với từ những cái khách hàng của cái đối tác khác của những có nghĩa là cái đối tác của mình ấy thì mình chưa tiếp cận được với họ thì mình sẽ tạo ra những cái mối quan hệ với lại cái đối tác của người ta để người ta có thể biết tới mình, từ cái đối tác của người ta có thể giới thiệu tới tới mình để mình có thể bán hàng, có nghĩa là mình đi một cách đường vòng xa xa một chút như thế ạ. Và để được tiếp cận với lại cái khách hàng của mình thì mình có thể tạo ra những cái kênh marketing, đó là nhằm đáp ứng được với lại có nghĩa là như khách hàng của mình thì cần những cái nhu cầu như thế nào thì mình phải đáp ứng được đối với lại khách hàng của họ như thế. Và một cái nữa là cái việc có nghĩa là khi mà mình đã bán được hàng rồi ấy, thì mình sẽ tạo được cái sự chăm sóc đối với lại khách hàng của mình để họ có quan tâm và sẽ quay lại đối với mình.
Thank you very much.
so it's
Thank
more of a snowball effect. So building a relationship with an existing customer and the network of that customer can then link with the network of that customer and so on and so forth.
Yes.
From Pakisama, Christina of Pakisama, she said, we introduced first our products, how these were produced, its description, and their health benefits. We usually do free tastes to assess their initial feedback, whether it's good or needs further improvement. I think the free taste idea is good because people love free food. And I think
That is a good idea, yes.
yeah, there are some bazaars, maybe, holiday bazaars or farmers market that can be tapped for that. That's also an example. So, but I think Dario will be discussing examples of marketing channels later, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we will talk later. Therefore, for this step, I'm very happy with your comments. So I noted them. That we will reintroduce them later when talking about more specifically about marketing. But just to summarize this step of the webinar, you see that we can should somehow consider our agri enterprise as part of a network. That is the concept. So the network might be beneficial, like in the snowballing example of Vietnam, expand it. Sometimes it might be problematic, critical for us and challenge. for us, but does not change the general concept to consider our need to expand our networking capacity. Obviously, we are there for business, and therefore looking at the way through the networking, through the partnership, through the collaboration, we can improve our position in the market. This is what we want to do. And we have seen the Kyrgyzstan example, selling wholesale, wholesaling their crops, and others where there is probably more integration with the customers. These are different models. I cannot say that one is absolutely better than the other. They depend on the conditions that we have. So we should consider them all. But in principle, let's look at our marketing strategies as part of a networking strategies and as part of a strategies of more integration with the other players, specifically in this case with customers, and see whether it may work or not. Beneath, yes, the selling samples to start a proper expert communication with the customer based on our products, which are at the end what they are mostly looking interested. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, let me go back to the screen. I hope you can see it. And therefore, in principle, we should be aware that the customer satisfaction, an happy customer, is always a point of strength for us. And this is particularly true the more we start a network strategy, a strategy of interaction and collaboration with our customers. The more we are based on the spot market of selling and running, that is probably less important, because we can play on the number of customers that are coming in. We sell it, we get our money, and then in case we change the customer, or the customer change us. It is structure of the spot market. Whenever we want and we see the opportunities to create stricter, long-term relations with our customers, the more we should take care of their satisfaction, have a specific, stronger customer focus, and therefore taking the relevant actions and related actions, therefore monitoring the customer satisfaction. Probably once more in the spot market or wholesaling, we see our customers once only. We sell it, he goes, and we remain, and then we don't have any transaction anymore together. And therefore, our specific customer focus, our interest in customer satisfaction is probably lower. Different is when once we start a kind of partnership or collaboration with our customer. And that is, for instance, the way that we have seen the example of Nepal sending the samples, interacting with the customers to get their feedback, and based on the feedback, this is very important, adjusting, improving their products, because the customers are full of feedbacks if we can catch them, because they know their market, they know the market in general, their market. Therefore, they are interested in having what they want, and what they want often needs some adjustment and changes from the initial production plan to be specifically in line with the demand they that is once more an important element in our business plan. So from our business plan, we should, and it should come out, a clear description of our relation with customers, how we deal with our customers, how we are linked to our customers. And therefore, let's open a very short discussion on the monitoring of the customer satisfaction. We had already some examples where we started the process, start the engine of a partnership with our customers in terms of sending the samples before selling and asking for their initiative. And then after the sales are concluded, do we continue somehow in that, and how can we do that, or what? So please give us your experience, if any. Experience, for instance, coming from your activities on the customer, your communication on customers in post sales, and how you have used any direct experience. We have million question there. Perfect. Please follow that. The answer here can be very simple as well. Can be no. I don't monitor customers. I don't know what do I got. I sell it, but they buy it, they pay, but then I don't know if they are happy or not.
And then they don't go back anymore.
And perhaps they go back, or perhaps they do, but we don't know. It is somehow out of our understanding.
Yeah, I have an example, I think, Dario.
Good,
yeah,
please,
because,
go.
Because I think when the pandemic started, right, there was a boom in online selling or online marketing of products.
Yes.
And then there was this, I'm not sure if they're an organization, but essentially I'll just call them a group, because there was a news back then that the farmers from the mountainous area at the north of the Philippines are throwing away their produce, their crops, their vegetables, because they cannot bring them to Manila, or maybe the volume of production is just too high, and so on and so forth. So what they did is they developed social media pages, and they developed a map, and then the customers can sign up there, and then they will have scheduled deliveries of the vegetables that you ordered. So wherever you are in Manila or in neighboring provinces, you can order from there, and then the farmers get a higher premium, of course, in terms of the price. But one way that people can review is that they leave reviews in Facebook, right? Because you can leave reviews in the Facebook page of a business. You can give them 5 stars, 4 stars, or whatever number of stars there. And also, if you have an app that is downloadable in the smartphone, there is also an opportunity to rate them with whatever number of stars. And sometimes, if a customer is likes researching products or researching companies, when he or she sees or reads the review, it might influence whether he or she will avail of the service or product or not. Yeah. How
Thank you
about
very much.
others?
Yes.
Shall we use the power of the wheel of names?
Yes, we can. Let me.
Can you stop
Let me.
here?
I can stop sharing. Exactly.
Okay. And then let's see. All right.
Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay. So our colleagues from Vietnam, would you like to share how you monitor your customer satisfaction? I think it's
We cannot hear.
I think they're here because they just
They are.
yeah, Tien just responded a while ago.
Meanwhile, I put a key sentence of today in the chat. Because nowadays, everything can be checked. That is what has changed through the internet. Before it was not like that. Everything was one-to-one relation and just through talking, it was possible to share information. Now, whatever we do can be published online and be the public domain worldwide.
Or maybe,
and that has changed completely.
yeah. Yeah. I think I mean, for example, there are vloggers, there are bloggers. I mean, there are people who write, people who take videos of their experience trying a new product and so on. And then people watch that or read that. But I think maybe the reason why no one is responding to our question is because they don't know or they do not monitor customer satisfaction.
Yeah, that is an answer. That
Yeah.
is an answer.
So,
That is an answer.
so maybe since Vietnam has been selected and actually also Philippines, I just trust me when I said that I played the wheel of names. So maybe you could just share if you do monitor if you do not, and
And that might
no
be
right or
interesting
wrong.
for a poll.
Okay, so Benita in the chat box said that after we are sure that the customers, we call them and ask them for a rating from 1 to 10 on our product. We also ask them to keep giving us a feedback on the regular customers who buy our tea on retail. Thank you
Thank you
for
very
that
much.
sharing.
Thank you, Benita.
Yeah.
That is a very good practice. Because Benita approach is an even expanded approach, because correctly she goes to the analysis and to the feedback of the chain. It's not focusing only on the direct customer, who is relevant and important, but on the customers of the customer. And this is a very good strategy. In terms of our market power, say, the more we are linked to the customers of our customers, the more power we might have. You remember once more, always recall the smile card, because in that way we are not focusing only on production and the initial relation with our customers. What we are looking at the post-sales activities related to the satisfaction of the final customers. And in this way, yes, we are adding value to our customers because we are providing services. By caring of their customers, we are helping them to do their business better. So as the more we can do that, the more we skip from the loop of the smile curve, staying on in production, but entering post-production, post-sales services, which are extremely important for us to generate value for our customers. So thank you very much, Benita, for the example. Exactly, visiting the customers, the bulk customers in this case, it is the direct customers, but visiting them is also a very good practice to get their feedback. Let me see. Krishna, they have digital feedback. and feedback, interactive feedback. Obviously, that is always the best option. It's easy to predict that the more we have feedback and the more we are interactive in the feedback management, the more value we are creating for their customers. That is definitely a way, and therefore how to organize this management of feedback is very relevant for us in terms of competence of those who are interacting with them. This is not an issue in a small farm run by one single agripreneur. It becomes an interesting issue when we talk of a cooperative like in Mongolia, 192 members, where we need a specific organization to deal with our customers. Once more, the Kyrgyzstan example, selling very perishable crops or at the wholesale level, you are seeing that you have much less potential and capacity to interact with your customers and the customers of your customers and the customers of their customers, because probably the chain is even longer, say, retailer or middleman and then the consumer. But anyhow, the concept is there. The attention to the customers might be beneficial for you as well, for the wholesaling model as well. We have a new message. The testing sessions. Yeah. That is another good example. So the demonstration of the product is a very good way of interaction with our customer, because you remember in the slide of the value, the product was highlighted because that is the core, very practically speaking, and everyone is interested in the product. So let's start from that, but let's expand as much as possible according to our conditions, according to our type of business, the intangible activities that are related to our product. Yes, absolutely. Like the Philippines say, the customers provide constructive feedback, and then we can use it to improve our activities and our product. That is the input. For improvement, we need inputs, and the inputs come from different sources, including the market and the customers. So thank you very much for the feedback. So you see that we have, luckily, some positive example of customer monitoring. I'm not here saying that from tomorrow we have to start with a kind of massive structured customer monitoring action. According to our condition, we should consider that and start seeing how to make it. But always in line with our type of business, in line with our capacity to see that this effort that we are making for the customer satisfaction monitoring has a return for our positive business return for our business. That is always relevant, important for us. So just to move more into the marketing strategies and operation, and focus on what I was telling you before, the importance of the product. So this is the junction, direct junction, also physical junction between our customer and us, and all the instruments, tools that we are using and we use to make this happen, that our product change and move from our hands to our customers' hands, which are sales, the price, the communication, branding, everything which is related to the marketing of our strategy. Let me see another comment.
Yeah, let me just read it, Dario.
Yes,
other
please.
participants
And then you
can-
will comment.
Yeah.
And I will go to the next.
So Mel just said that it's a good realization for us, Dario, especially for the young farmers who will start or improve their current enterprise to really include customer satisfaction monitoring. Thanks for emphasizing this one. Sometimes we overlook this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yes, it is a very good point that I recommend to consider, because the customer is our real asset, the main asset, and whatever business we do. And then the strategy is the way we interact with our customers, in addition to what we are mentioning now, the quality of our product is extremely important. The quality of our products, here we are entering a kind of subtle concept. And therefore, I would invite you to consider quality as something that is really tangible, the quality, which might be assessed in absolute terms, for instance, compliance standards, that is a kind of quality. But always consider quality as a more dynamic concept, which is not only related to the physical traits of our product, but related to the customer requirements. The quality is related to satisfying the customer requirements, and that's why it is important to start to have also a monitoring of the customer satisfaction, because customer satisfaction is mirroring the quality of our product. Our product is a quality product, we can say, if it meets the requirements of our customer. And therefore, we should know our customer requirements, which are more or less sophisticated. Once more, I'm taking Kyrgyzstan as an example, because it's an example that is very common worldwide, the one of selling raw materials or perishable produce, where the capacity to elaborate on the customer requirements are less. Much more is for the tea, so for the cashmere that Mongolia is producing. There is much more floor to play on different customer requirements. The segmentation of the market is also probably bigger there than when we sell raw apples or vegetables, particularly wholesaling. The segmentation of the market perhaps is something that is addressed by the wholesaler, by the packing center. They will start segmenting the product. We are selling more the raw materials. You remember, again, once more, the smile curve, where we are there. We are more in the production, tangible activity, whilst the more we start entering in the mind of the consumers to get their requirements, the more we can have a sophisticated business and getting more value. And therefore, the key is knowing what our customer wants. And Binita approach, I recall, of the value chain, of knowing not only the requirement of our direct customer, but knowing more downstream in the chain is definitely a very good strategy. Difficult, expensive, not necessarily in terms of direct monetary cost, but in terms of thinking, in terms of effort, in terms of work, but definitely much more productive, much more beneficial for us. And always, yes, exactly. Exactly. We can start a collaboration with our customers to monitor their customer satisfaction and have an interaction on this. Therefore, what is one of the summaries of this initial slide? Information sharing, networking and information sharing as information as the key element that is passing through the network linkages are the main element. So we need networking, connecting, and we need information passing through the pipes of our networks. How to create it? For instance, we had now a good example from the Philippines, collaborating with our customer, collaboration. So we see other keywords that are appearing that I believe are good for the young farmers. I was very surprised listening to Mongolia and seeing cooperative as something for the elders, for the elder farmers. That is something that I would say opposite, but that is a very interesting point. I'm sure that in principle, young farmers are more for this concept of collaboration, working, partnership than the elder ones. Therefore, that is a good strategy to consider to renovate somehow the agribusiness at the small farmers level. And now we go to a specific subject, which is price, because we are talking of many actions, some of them implying additional cost for us, and therefore we must be interested in the formation of price, because never forget that all improvement to quality, whatever quality we have mentioned, physical, intangible, let's talk, whatever improvement to quality we are doing, but without having a kind of control and power in the price formation, we are making a gift to our customers, because probably they won't pay it back if they can. And therefore, our efforts to improve the quality and the value of our product must always be related to our capacity to get the right price, therefore to have capacity to influence the price formation, because the appropriate pricing is crucial for the success of our business. If we have a good product but we cannot price it properly, it will be a very difficult situation for our business. And now briefly, today we see some strategies for price. We might have a very simple method, which is the cost and profit method. We know how much our product costs. We decide to have a certain markup. We add it, like here the example. The cost of production is $5,000. We want to have a markup of 2,000. It sum up to 7,000. Then we divide for the number of units, like in this case, 950 units, and we have a price of $7.38 per unit. This is a very simple method, but very difficult to use unless we are in a monopolistic situation of the market, which is not our case in general. Regardless our dimension, we still are very small to have the power to implement this method of pricing as it is. It would be good. That is very safe for us. We know exactly our profit based on our cost. But we will see that there are several implication and complications to have this method in practice. And we should consider this chart that the product cost is for us our ideal bottom line, because below the cost, the production cost, we cannot have any profit. Opposite, we have the ceiling put by the customer, so the perception of the customer of the value. Difficult to get price more than that. We can play on that as we can play on the production cost. On the one hand, we can work to reduce our production cost, technology, through competence, through experience, through economies of scale, different tools we might have. Same to work on the perception of the value of our customers. And we have seen some examples where we can play on that, talking to the customers, providing samples, tasting experience, all these communication in general. All these are elements that can help us increase the perception of that. In between these two limits, there is a wide range of prices that we can from the bottom to the up, where the quality and the service and the price are the elements that generate the value. So if we look at our sales operation from customer perception, they will detect value according to these three major elements: the real quality, the physical quality of the product, the service, meaning the intangible quality, let's simplify it, and obviously the price. The lower the price, probably the happier the customer in general. It is not always the case, but in principle, this is what gives value to the customer. So the combination of the quality, the service, and the price. And these are the tools that we should play on. And you see, if we don't control the price, we can play on the quality, we can play on the service, but not necessarily we will have a better or different price of our product. So we should be able to work and influence these three elements of value creation together. Chat. This is. Let's look at another example of pricing strategy. In this case, it is what I call the competition-based. How does it function? Very simple. We want to price our product that we can see like this sauce in the upper line, and we do that according to a comparison with competitors. And we discover that we have a competitor product sold at $2, one at $3, and one at $7. And according to our assessment of the quality, we decide that we are closer to the $7 price product. And we decide to price the $6.50 to stay close to that, but not exactly the same. And yet more competitive. This is another relatively simple way of pricing our product, which might happen more for processed food, agri-food products rather than the fresh. You know, the fresh, the more the perishable our product is, the more we are exposed to the spot market and to spot transaction, where these methods cannot work properly or are difficult to implement.
Yes. We have some comment in the chat, but it's in the local language. So maybe
Yes.
request our Lao interpreter to please translate.
When they will translate it, we will feedback. Yes, please. Yeah. The same. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Thank you very much. Let's see this slide. And here we are talking on the customer perception of the value. If I have an organic orange and I want to sell it, I have to sell it to those and to locations, think in terms of points of sales, which are able and who are able to understand that value. I sell organic oranges in a large market which is floated by other oranges, say conventional oranges as well, at a lower price, and where customers are not that very interested, they very aware of what organic oranges are, they will probably not make any difference in price between our organic and not organic. If we go in the supermarket where we can play on the customer perception of value to communication, to specific displaying, to information and communication to the customers on the positive traits of organic orange, yes, in that case we can have the right, almost the right price for our oranges. So absolutely, the house comment is very relevant on what we are saying. Thank you very much. So we leave now this competition-based pricing to summarize the advantages, which is very easy, or relatively easy, because we are supposed to know our market and therefore to have access to the information we need to make this price comparison among between our product and the competitors. But the negative side are that you can see it is disconnected from the demand. We know that there is demand from, or we assume that there is demand from the competitors' price at $7, at 2, 3, but we cannot be sure that the demand will be for 54 hours. We make it an assumption based on only on what our competitors are based, and therefore we are connecting from the demand, and somehow we are ignoring our customers because we decide, like the first example, the cost and profit method is also a method that is ignoring our customers, and it is completely disconnected from the demand. It is very focused on our perception of not of the market, but the production operations. So the market is not there. In this second method, at least the market is there because we are considering, if not the competitors, if not the customers, sorry, at least our competitors, and the competitors are relevant. And now we are ready to see another method, which you can see is more in line with what we have seen and what we have said before. And therefore, pricing that is more value-based, where we evaluate the needs, the value that the customers associate to our customers. And we set the price to reflect the value, the market. And therefore, instead of starting the production and then throw our product to the market and see what happens, like in the first, partially second methods, we start from the customer. What is the tricky point? Is that this way we should have the capacity to adjust our production methods, our production in general, to these needs, and therefore determine our costs and the way we differentiate from competitors according to the customer needs. Are we able to do that? Can we do that? Do we have capacity to play on our production cost, on our marketing, to be in line with the customer's needs, demand, and value? That is the question mark of these methods of pricing. And therefore, the conclusion of this, if we can, is that we can deliver a product that meets the value of the customers. Remember the slide with the 3 balls from the production to the value, or even exceed. It is obvious for what we have discussed so far that the more we exceed the value and the expectation of our customers, the more our position, the better our position in the market and our capacity to price the product at a high level and get more profit. Because when I mentioned that quality comes from the customers, I also say that the profit comes from there. Because the more we satisfy our customer requirements, the more we meet their value perception, the more we get in terms of price, the better price we will get. Therefore, a kind of way of operating which is turned upside down. We start from the market, we see what they want, and then we adjust our operations to be in line with our cost to the initial method. It's obvious that we want the profit. Therefore, when we know that what the price is, we define and what our profit and our cost might be to meet that price. Opposite to the first method, where we did not consider that market price, we assume that the sum of our production costs and profit would be accepted by the market, which is not always the case, and that's why that system can work only specific conditions. Here we have a summary, just to summarize these 3 methods, where we have a production-oriented approach, the first method of profit plus cost, a competition-based method, the one where we investigate our competitors' prices and we price our product consistently from our evaluation of our product, not of the market, but of our product in comparison to the other. So the quality of the product is the key element. And then the value-based pricing, where we start from the market, from the customers, and we adjust our production process to the needs of producing product that in line with the customer request and can give us the right profit that we want. And therefore, if we want to answer the question of how to market products at cheaper cost, we have to play, you see, with the quality and the price. These are the 2 elements that we can use to market a product at a cheaper cost, which is extremely difficult because we have obstacles to reduce our costs, because the technology might be a barrier, the competence might be a barrier, and regarding price, somehow even worse, because we must be able somehow to influence the price formation and have the capacity to be somehow flexible in the fixing of our price. Once more, you have enough experience to know how that is. Milene, you raised your hand, please.
Yes, I have more of a question because, well, it's not really for farm products, but I mean, there are companies, right, wherein they have different ranges of products. I mean, they're selling the same product, but at different price range so that they could more or less capture a larger market. So, for example, spaghetti noodles, they're producing a spaghetti noodles that is more for the high end, which they deliver in the higher end grocery stores or specialty shops. And then they also produce spaghetti noodles that are for, the regular groceries, or the regular stores, and so on and so forth. So is that something that can also be done in terms of agri forest products? There,
Thank
it's
you,
more of a
Milene.
question.
Thank you very much, Milene. Someone wants to comment on what Milene was saying, which is related to the portfolio or assortment of products that we might have. We have seen, for instance, interesting examples from Mongolia once more, because they have a quite wide range of products according to segmentation given by their type of production, from meat to wool to cashmere, skin. So they are selling almost everything that can come, including milk in the future. So we can have a full assortment of the livestock products, and this is one strategy. But then we have an even more sophisticated strategy through segmentation within the categories. Cashmere is a big category, I assume, like wool, and we might have different types of wool, different types of cashmere. This is also helping us to playing more with the price, because we will have different price formation scheme mechanism, different prices to combine them together to aim at our profit that we want. Therefore, yes, Milene, your point is absolutely correct. So we should look at our product not as a single product necessarily, but as a product where we can elaborate. We can have different sub-products to segment it. And on the other hand, looking at our product, whatever it is, as a basket of attributes. That is the most attractive way of working. Seeing in our product, or say better, looking at the attribute that our product can be in the eyes of the customers and consumers, and therefore seeing in which way we can create value to our products, playing on different aspects. For instance, organic. Organic is one of those examples. An orange might have nutritional traits, might have say emotional and environmental traits given from organic. So don't change necessarily the nutrition. We can play on both, and therefore target those who are interested in C vitamin, because the nutritional facts of the orange, and those who are interested more in the environment protection, in the sustainability of cultivation, in the absence of residues, in those elements that we can sell through the feature of organic. On the other hand, playing on instead on the vitamin contents or other nutritional traits of orange. So this is the concept of the basket of attributes. So every product should be always seen in his complexity and his whole package of attributes, because there are many. There are many, and this is helping to play on the price formation. So we might have different prices for the product according to the prevalent attribute. The example of oranges. If I sell the organic oranges where they don't know what organic oranges are, the prices will be of the orange with the basic attribute of orange, just pure orange, not more. We have to look at those who are looking at the basket of attributes of our oranges and are spotting the organic. That is our way. This is market segmentation of marketing theory, to identify the different segments of our market. And segments of the market are related to the attributes of our basket product. Thank you very much. I would move to that, and then Milene, when do you want to stop for a break?
After this slide, so that it's
after this slide. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Therefore, this is an exercise. It looks very, very complex, and I don't want you to stick necessarily on this, but capture the concept that we might frame into a chart, price and quality. And we might have high quality, high price, low quality, as different situations and different strategies. And therefore, we might have a cheap condition with low price and low quality, that is exactly a cheap product, or a premium product, which is a product with high price and high quality. There is consistency. I have a low quality and I sell it for a low price. I have a high quality and I sell it for a high price. Logical. Different in when we are mixing different positions, and therefore, for instance, if we have to sell a high quality product for a low price, it is obvious that the product is underpriced, and therefore that probably our profit is hampered. Perhaps we don't have any profit from that, and therefore we should ask ourselves how to amend it, how to improve. On the other hand, if you are selling a low quality product for a price that is medium or high, probably the customers won't be happy. And particularly if you are selling low quality for a high price, where we probably have to sell and then escape from that market because it is likely that they won't buy it anymore. Interesting for the example that we have seen with tea, with product that we are promoting toward the customers. Perhaps we can start with a medium price and high quality, assuming that we have high quality, which is good for a penetration in the market. So because of the reasonable price, according to the quality customers will buy, and then when we start this partnership, we will have the possibility to price it better, perhaps to increase the price, because if they can sell it, perhaps we will have the capacity to move from the medium price high quality to the premium position, high price, high quality, being both happy, our customer with their customers and us as the producers to get more profit and probably the high profit for the quality of our product. So in this matrix that I invite you to keep in your files and have a look from time to time when we are thinking on pricing, you can see different situations where we are happy, where we are not because it's underpriced, and where we have to consider a kind of dynamic of our price strategies to get the best profit we want. Like for instance, the penetration strategy that I just mentioned. Before we go to the sales channels, therefore, let's see if there are questions on the comments as well. Otherwise, we stop 10 minutes and then we continue with the second part of the afternoon.
Yes, so far I don't think there are questions, but of course, participant, as you know, you can post your questions on any topics anytime that you
Yes,
want.
absolutely.
Even after the webinar, you can send us an email. But in the meantime, let's have a short 10 minutes, just 10 minutes,
10 minutes.
okay, break. And so
Yeah.
get your coffee, water, juice, and bread. And while we're taking a break, let's watch a short video.
Good. At 4 o'clock we are back, right?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Minin, I made a short, a simple poll also, I prepared. At a certain point, I will try to publish. I hope I can make it. Because I cannot see the poll function.
Yeah, I
Here.
don't think you can because you're not a host. Do you want? I can make you a
Ah,
host. Yeah, you can send it
host.
to me and I can make it.
Let me see if I can make it. I hope. Yeah, let me wait for when I am co-host, and then I try. Let me go 1 second there.
So can you see it? The poll
let me see. Polls, yes, I can. Yeah, but I don't see the polls that I prepared. Probably it was in another
Yeah,
account.
I don't think you can do it. Just send it to me.
Hey, how can I do that? Because I should find it. I cannot find it. No. This is a pause that I can launch, but I cannot make. No. Mm.
Sorry, I have to end the video. It's already 5:02. So I think,
Yes.
yeah, so we have a
Ooh.
comment from Noy saying that I agree with the trainer's explanation on price formation. I also heard that how we set price can be based on number psychology as well. For example, the price ending in numbers 135 can attract more buying than price ending in even numbers. I wonder if this is true. So Dario said that buyer psychology is relevant on pricing, and there are specialists working on that, particularly at consumers level. Dario, maybe you could expound.
Yes. I'm not personally a specialist on price psychology. I'm a specialist on price formation from the economy side, although I'm marketing teacher more on price in terms of economy formation, which is different. The price formation in economy terms considers other elements, not much the therefore demand and offer particularly, and not the psychology. But yes, definitely there are. I'm sure that there is we can play with prices on the psychology of consumers. A simple example, which is much more simpler than the one that Noi gave, is about 0.99 or 1. Minimal difference in economy, but yes, psychologically a big difference. And therefore, you can probably see that many of the sales of products, including food, particularly food products, have this use this method of the psychological price for consumers of 0.99 or 0.95, 1.95 instead of the full price, which is much simpler, €2. 1.99 is different in the mind of consumers, and say that place them into the range of €1 or $1 and not at 2, although it is 2 in practice. Therefore, absolutely, the point is, Noise point is appropriate. There is a psychological implication of price formation. Let me see. Price psychology. I will try to search more on this. So, shall we start? Shall we continue, Milene?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good. We go ahead. We talked before of the chain, and here we see a couple of examples on how we can structure our sales channels from direct sales from producers, from us to the consumer, or to the consumer through quite a more structured chain. The wholesalers, the retailer, the consumer. The Kyrgyzstan example of wholesaling is probably in this kind of chain. And we have mentioned the importance of this chain in terms of networking, in terms of sharing information, in terms of circulation of information, in terms of communication with our customers. Because here we see that our relation with the consumer is mediated by at least two categories of actors. The wholesalers and the retailer. Therefore, all the information that we convey or all the information that we receive is filtered, is modified, somehow manipulated. It even happened. By the way, it changed from the consumer to us. We can detect or we have a wrong perception of the consumer needs if we look at the consumers. Why? In the producer-consumer channel chain, we are almost we are in a much better position to understand the needs and to communicate with the consumers. That is in terms of communication, but also in terms of pricing. It is evident that the producer-consumer, there is a kind of price formation mechanism. In the other channel, producer, wholesaler, retailer, there is a different price formation mechanism, and there are several steps in which a price is formed. Because in general, this channel has a logistics flow, so the products move from the producer to the wholesaler, from the wholesaler to the retailer, from the retailer to the consumer. And at each of those logistics steps, we have a price formation as well. And therefore, we have to consider the logistics cost and the marketing and price, the marketing cost and the profit of each actor at that stage. So it is much more complicated, much more complex. This is an element that we must describe very clearly in our business plan. We should explain our channel, to whom we are selling, and how this is part of the chain of our product, and how the consumer is part of this picture. We did not mention the consumer much so far. You remember from the beginning, consumer, we consider them as part, a relevant, significant part of the external context for us. And therefore, knowing the consumer trends might be very important for us in preparing our business plan properly. And say, showing that we are adjusting, improving our strategies to meet the demand of the consumers. Once more, we must be practical. In some cases, this is more effective for us. In other cases, much less, because we are so far from the consumers because of our sales channels that it is difficult for us to have a relation and to have capacity to influence them. Once more, recall the smile curve as a theoretical background to what I'm saying. There is something in my voice, the Vietnam interpreter say softer. Let me check. Let's see now. Now it is it better?
Yes, I think it's
now
better.
It is better. Yeah, I tried to fix the control. It's better. Thank you very much. Let's hope it may go. Now let me see here the next. And therefore, we are here. We can describe the sales at the individual level of the farmers, which is a farm gate sales, like in the case of the structured channel, producer, wholesaler, retailer, consumers, or selling at the nearby markets. Therefore, in a shorter channel where we sell it to traders, but even to final consumers. In the slide before, we saw two extreme examples, a very fragmented, segregated channel, user, wholesaler, retailer, and consumer, and the other very short channel. I cannot say that there is a hierarchy, one is better than the other. In principle, for us, the short channel is better because it gives us much, as producer, much more power in all terms, economy, the communication, information, powers, all. But sometimes it is impossible to make. It's impossible because of the logistics constraints, because of the perishability of the product, because of the technology we need, because of the investment. So we should not look at that short channel as something that we must do. It is our general strategic aim, but it will be implemented according to the conditions we have. The example of grouping is one of the possible tools that we have to achieve that objective, that aim, because you can easily understand that economies of scale play an enormous role in shortening or giving the producers the possibility to shorten a sales channel. Because what we have to consider at this point to address properly this issue is how why we should organize our sales. For instance, because we want to have better trading conditions, because we want to sell more, because we want to organize in collaboration with other actors in the chain. So we organize our sales horizontally because we want to connect vertically. We can do that more easily and with more success if we are stronger than if we are weaker. So we have different objectives that stimulate us to organize our sales. This is one of the visual descriptions of the advantages we might theoretically have for our better organization of sales. Can we get through directly to the consumer? Perhaps we can, but under which conditions? For instance, through a different organization. So the change will happen if we first change. For instance, this is a short example from Azerbaijan. Unfortunately, my friends from Azerbaijan could not join for different reasons, including language barrier. It was complicated to have another speaker from a different language. You see, this group in Agdam, which is in the south Azerbaijan, they grouped to improve their sales. Because they wanted to develop a kind of eco-cooperative and therefore improve their technology, production methods through organic, to provide assistance in packaging and sales. So they are producing individually the cheese, these producers. It is not many, it is 12 producers there. They produce the cheese individually, the feta cheese, white cheese actually, but they want to have assistance to improve their technology for the packaging and also assistance for selling. And in this sense, you see a very good example because they can start a cheese shop of the cooperative, something that they could not do because they are in isolated areas where consumers would not go, and going to the market individually would be probably not profitable. Different if they organize the collection of the cheese, they deliver the cheese to a single shop in a city, in Agdam, where the consumers can go and buy. That is a way of shifting from the current, say, long channel, selling to wholesalers, to traders in general, to the short channel where they can sell to consumers. But not only because they design their product differently, an eco cheese, through the eco cooperative, improved packaging, but also in parallel because they shorten the channel and they go directly to the consumers by group. having a kind of minimal volume that can attract the consumers, that can justify their investments in sales and marketing. So a good example of improved sales through shortening of their channel. And now it's your turn. So short discussion on your capacity to determine their sales price. For instance, we have seen examples of good communication, of good relation, of good collaboration with the buyers, with the customers. Now let's focus on price. How does that turn into pricing in our capacity to be price makers instead of price takers? Does that happen? Let's please comment on that from the different experiences that we have seen. And therefore, the very appropriate question that Milim made, how did you set the price of your product? That is the key question. How can we make it?
Yeah, so maybe someone can share how they set the price of their product, and then if you what do you think is the type of pricing formation that is? Was it cost and profit? Was it competition based, or was it value based, or maybe it's something else? Because I think before they were saying that it was set by the market or something like that. So
perfect.
Anyone?
Go ahead, please. Before we go with the wheel.
Going once. I think maybe we could go back to Vietnam and the Philippines, because
yes,
Lau would like to.
There is one hand raised.
Yes.
Is it Lau?
Phuc Khao Kam of LFN, please unmute yourself and please feel free to share.
Yes, please.
โดยสบายดีโดยสำหรับน้องเนาะมาจากกลุ่มปลูกผักและเลี้ยงสัตว์การตั้งราคาของน้องแมนจะได้ตั้งจากการคิดไล่งบประมาณการลงทุนแล้วก็ตั้งตามคุณภาพราคาของสินค้าตัวอย่างคือน้องเนาะเลี้ยงไก่แล้วก็ปลูกผักอินทรีย์ของน้องมันเป็นพวกปลอดเคมีน้องต้องตั้งราคาตามคุณภาพของมันโดยขอบใจ
Thank you.
Thank you for that. How about the others? How did you set the price of your product? And do you feel that you set it correctly?
Vâng, đối với xin có ý kiến ạ.
Yes, please go ahead.
Please.
Vâng. Theo như mình thì là đối với lại cái giá một cái sản phẩm thì nó có rất là nhiều các cái để mình nó cấu thành, bao gồm kể cả đối với lại thị trường về chất lượng, chi phí, và bao gồm rất là nhiều cái để mà tạo thành cái giá của một sản phẩm. Cho nên là khi mà lựa chọn cái giá bán của mình ấy, thì mình phải dựa trên các cái nguyên tố đó, ví dụ như là thị trường ạ, chất lượng và cái chi phí đầu vào của mình nó có đắt đỏ hay không, thì mình phải định giá được cái sản phẩm đó ạ. Xin hết ạ.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then maybe someone from the Philippines, because you were selected a while ago for the other questions.
Yes, please.
And while they are thinking about their response, Krishna from India said that they identify the price after deducting all the expenses which have occurred in the preparation of the product. So maybe it's cost and profit method. Yeah.
It seems like.
Or maybe for those who think now that they didn't set the price of their product now, maybe you can write. Wait. For those who think that they didn't set the price of their product right, please share also.
Good. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. From what I see that there is quite a good market power of ours, because the cost profit method works when we have a certain good market power, and we can somehow impose, because the more we are in the cost profit method, the more we are price maker. We make the price, we set the price, and then that is accepted by the market. In the other methods, like the last method that we see, which is related to the market demand, we start from the price that we can get in the market, the price that is in the mind and in the capacity of our customers, and we adjust, considering competition, considering all elements that you said, and we adjust our production process to that, to be competitive and to be able to do that. So we are, in this case, we are not, we do not say a price taker, pure price taker, but we change our paradigm, we change our way, which is from a real price maker, like the cost and profit, to a mechanism where we are much more interactive with our market. Let's see. For instance, in Myanmar, they say farmers got to sell their farm products and crop according to the brokers. Therefore, it is very simple, the description. Please clarify if I am wrong in my interpretation. This is a typical position of price taker according to the brokers. Therefore, it's the broker that says this is the price of today, and we take it without much capacity. And regardless, they are our real production cost and our real idea of profit. So thank you very much for the insights. Consider all these inputs as good inputs for you to elaborate more on your price strategy. Thank you very much. And we go to another important element that I wish to see in your business plan, which is exactly competition base in Mongolia, price formation for cashmere, because of the wide competition in the market, and therefore we cannot set the price as we want, but we have to adjust our technology, our production methods to the market. The brand is obviously, you can understand it easily, one way to differentiate ourselves in the market and to segment the market. Here you can see different examples of branding, from the registered product to brands of famous agri food companies, to organic, to origin, like the European Union brands for protected denomination of origin or protected geographical indication products. So different way to brand our product, which is from the individual side, you can see left, large companies or registered trademark, to collective brands like Australian Certified Organic or PDO, PGI brands in the European Union. And we can use different, or we can say brand our product according to different elements, which is the locality. You remember the concept of locality that we already defined, that is extremely important to say, start the engine of branding related to the identity, the history, the tradition, the cultural heritage. The quality is something that we can use. Australian certified organic is related to the quality, to the process of these agri-food products as organic. And obviously, always considering the brand as something that we do, that has an internal side and an external side, because our brand is a proposition that must be captured by our customers, and our customers must understand what our brand is about. And if they don't, we have to help them. That was one of the 3 key points of the geographical indication brands of the European Union. They started, they are clear for the producers, for the processors, for those who are in, but they needed a long period of digestion in the customers and particularly consumers' mind, because they had to understand exactly what they are, which is not always very simple, very simple. Branding. So which opportunities for branding do you see in your conditions? What is your, for instance, we talk about fresh produce, we talk about tea, we talk about cashmere. How is the potential for branding and experiences? I say opportunities here, looking at what we have and what we might have as potential for branding of our agri-food products. What is the experience you have in branding, and how this reflects in your business effectiveness, including price formation? Let's try to combine all these elements together here, if possible, around branding. Please. Nepal, for instance, is saying that they follow the demand like Kashmir in Mongolia. That is a very good idea for branding. You probably understand that it is more logical thinking on branding differentiation when we are exposed to the market competition, when we are setting our price according to demand. If we are so strong that we set the prices according to our conditions of production, probably brand is less necessary, because we assume that the buyer will buy it. Anyhow, it's different when the buyer, because of the demand and market rules and functioning, has different options to buy, and therefore a brand might become a way to differentiate and to increase the value of our product. So please, very briefly, give us your views on branding. And in Mongolia, for instance, I asked the question, are you branding your cashmere? And would you? If not, what is the situation? Then we talk about the tea with Nepal. Yeah. The microphone is mute.
Манай Монголд ноолороор брэнд үүсэж болно л доо. Одоо ерөөсөө миний мэдж байгаа, миний ойлгож байгаагаар бол одоо дэлхийн зах зээл дээр гарч байгаа ноолорын бараг 70-80% нь манай Монгол улсын ямааны ноолор байдаг. Гэхдээ манай төр засгийн буруутай үйл ажиллагаа ч гэдэг юм уу, одоо ингээд нэг бол хөрш орны арай нөгөө эдийн засгийн давуу эрхийг ашиглаж байдаас болд юм уу. Манай Монгол улс өөрийнхөө нэрээр одоо энэ ямааныхаа ноолорыг дэлхийн зах зээлд гаргаж чаддгүй байгаагаас болж байгаа. Түүнээс биш манай Монголын ямааны одоо ноолрын микроны чанар үнэхээр сайн нарий. Тэгээд тал хэрийн одоо манай нутгаар ярих юм бол тал хэрийн бүсэд оршдог болохоор юм хүүтэн тэгээд салхитай тэгээд цас сайн орох юм бол ноолор маш сайн чанартай нарийнхан тэгээд нөгөө нэг торгомсог тийм байдал нь арай давмгай байдаг да манай хошооны малчтаас гарч байгаа ноолрууд яг тийм цацын төртөл борлуулах гэж санаа зовдгүй ноолроо харин энийг нөгөө нэг ашиглаад явж чадахгүй одоо техникийн миний хувьд болохоор одоо ноолор төр техник тутамгаасаа болоод ноолороо бүрэн боловсруулж чадахгүй угааж ангилаад нөгөө нэг арай илүү нэмэн үртэх шингээж чадахгүй түүгээр нь буюу малчтаасаа гарч ирсэн ноолороо тэр чигээр нь борлуулдгаас болоод ашиг муу хөтдөг. Тэрийг ингээд техник бол энэ санхүүгийн боломж байх юм бол яг манайх ноолороо бүрэн боловсруулад бүр нөгөө нэг кашмирын бүтээгдэхүүн пальто оролт тэгээл одоо яг хүний хэрэглээний бараа бүтээгдэхүүн болгоо гаргаж чадах юм бол биднэрт одоо ингээд манай хошоон ч гэсэн одоо санхүүгийн эрхчлэлд хүрэх боломж байна. Гэхдээ бид нөгөө нэг одоо ерөөсөө хамаг юм санхүү дээр л төвлөрөөд байна л да. Санхүү одоо мөнгө төгрөг тутамгаасаа болоод тэрийг хийж чадахгүй байна. Түүнээс биш манай одоо хошооны бараа бүтээгдэхүүн буюу ноолор маань нөгөө хамгийн чанартай ноолор. Тийм байна. Баярлаа.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, this is quite insightful because it provides us with a quite good description of the situation.
So Dario, I mean, if I understood what our participants said, the branding happens when it's sold already in China, and it is the people who brands the product who get the additional profit from the type of branding that it gives. So if they, for example, brand it as sustainable cashmere or Mongol cashmere from the pasture of Mongolia and so on. So they are the one. I mean, and then they are the ones profiting sort of from that.
Yes, absolutely. That is what happens. Once more, recall the smile curve. See branding as one of the intangible post-production activities that we are losing. You see the difficulty. The strategy is clear to all of us, and it is very attractive, branding. But branding is not just sticking a label on a product. It requires complex changes in the process, and particularly the investments must return in terms of our capacity to sell it. Because otherwise, if we don't have our sales channels, we don't have our market, our capacity to access the appropriate logistics, we cannot escape from the wholesaling of the selling the raw materials to China or whatever it is. That is, therefore, Mongolia gave us a good point. They understand exactly, and you understand exactly, the first step, grouping, because otherwise, individually, we are lost, no way. Because even the investment cost for the brand would not be justifiable if I am too small. So to justify the investment in designing, in implementing, in keeping a brand, we need certain economies of scale, depending on the sector. And therefore, grouping is definitely the starting point. And this cooperative can do something. Probably there might be a wider movement for branding, which involves the policymakers with the right policies, and involves other actors. The umbrella organization that you were mentioning is probably one of the solutions that we can look also for branding. It's very common to have brands in the hands of umbrella organizations, like the Australia Organic Certified Organic, or like the PDO, PGI, which are usually in the European Union, which are usually managed by consortia. So that is the idea. So that what we should do there in Mongolia is to start this mechanism of enlarging the interest for the branding from the macro level of the policies and the legal framework to the meso level of services and to the micro level of the producers grouping together. So you see that the complexity, because it is not just one single point, entry point, and we solve everything. We have to go at different levels. But the Philippines are sending your brand is yes, exactly. That is positioning of brand. That is the core. You remember we started by saying that the brand describes our identity. This is what we want to be. But the other side of this coin is the perception of the customer. And the more these two sides are in line, are consistent, the more successful a brand. If there are discrepancies, the brand does not work. Therefore, our effort, like for price in the market demand price mechanism formation, is to design our brand, yes, according to who we are, because otherwise the brand has not a character, but presenting the brand in a way that that is properly positioned in the market. Positioned in the market in terms of recognition from the customer and in terms of consistent solutions. The Mongolia example is excellent to see what those are, which is the price formation mechanism, the logistic organization, the sales channels, the customers we want to target. Remember the example of the oranges, the organic oranges sold to the right customers. This is what we have to associate to our brand designing. And therefore, please avoid the mistake that because we have a good cashmere or we have a good apple or we have a good tea, our brand will be successful. That is the very starting point. We need that. We need this to be convinced that it will be successful, and we need to have elements that tell us that the product is good. But then there is all this to do, because otherwise the brand will be also for ourselves, and that is, we know that our cashmere is good. The people, the customers, the consumers must know that our apple is good, that our cashmere is good, that our tea is good.
Yes, in the chat
Yes,
box,
absolutely.
Jamba said that
Absolutely.
I heard there are some certain brands that produce in Mongolia by using Mongolian cashmere, but labeled and sold under different producers.
Absolutely, and this is what happens in terms of appropriation of, I'd say, correct, legally correct appropriation of identity. We have our identity as cashmere producers. I've seen similar in Jamaica, for instance, in the Caribbean island for the coffee. The appropriation of the identity of the coffee by trademarks. The trademark get it and they become the brand of, in Azerbaijan is absolutely the same for pomegranate. Pomegranate, more than Azerbaijan pomegranate, they sell the pomegranate of certain private brands, of private companies. This happens. And this happens as much, the more the producers are not organized, are not strong enough to keep a strong grip on the identity of the product, the more this identity is taken, used, manipulated by others. Probably in China, they will sell the cashmere as Chinese cashmere. It may happen. In Afghanistan, it happens that apples from Afghanistan are sold in Pakistan, not as Afghani apples. That is one of the risks we have, and therefore let's go back to the identity concept and to the locality. The locality is the overall concept, and see how we can protect that locality, convert it into a successful brand, which is known, communicated to the customer, to the consumers, and that we can profitably sell to our customers. So these are the different constraints we have in our branding strategies. So thank you very much. In our business plan, obviously, we should consider all our branding opportunities and explain whether we have a brand or not, and whether our brand might be how it may work. Like, for instance, the Nepal explained what they are doing, and like Mongolia as well told us. We mentioned technology, so we should consider in our business planning our access to technology and show how we can access technology, the inputs, and where we get information from external context on the new technology, which is, you see here, a long list of possible sources of information on technology, therefore. Not only the vocational education and training, that is evident, but from other, like the extension services, the other farmers, like the small commercial farmer model, which is a model developed in which small commercial farmers, you remember Thursday we spoke about commercial farmers, small commercial farmers are helping, advising other farmers on production technology and technology. NGO, the grouping of farmers is obviously increasing our capacity to receive information on technology, because it is a kind of platform that might receive and might connect more easily with the hubs of our technology and information network that can provide us with information on technology with more economy of scale, because one single piece of information that is entering a group can be shared not only to one farmer, in the model of one single farmer, both individual, but to the 92 farmers of the Kashmir cooperative in Mongolia. And that is making very much competitive the cost of information sharing on innovation, or in general information sharing. Because you can easily understand that getting information implies cost. Seeing how to make it. A farmer's field school is a system that has costs behind. The FAO often is bearing, but there are costs, and therefore the more concentrated are the receivers of the information, the better the system may function in terms of efficiency, effectiveness, and regarding efficiency, reduction of the information sharing costs. We have now considering the small agripreneurs, good opportunities, because the technology, for instance, is helping a lot. Because now we can reach individual hubs, points of our information network through mobile devices, through technology that is now rather simple to develop. Once more, grouping, having certain economy of scale, might help to develop appropriate platform for communication. The role of the extension services is evident here. Like regarding innovation, the business incubation in rural areas. Consider this the development that the Kyrgyzstan sales of fruit and vegetables, of crops, and the Kashmir example in Mongolia can do, how they would benefit from an incubation of these startup ideas for a branding consortium or for a cooperative of fresh produce, for fresh produce marketing in Kyrgyzstan. Who is supporting that? That is a very important element that we should look at, how we can be supported in these efforts of innovation and of change of our business. Here, for instance, we see an example from Nigeria of public support to the producers of cassava. This income, the National Center for Agricultural Mechanization, public ministerial entity, organizing research, demonstration, and transfer of technology to the producers. This was a machine that the income installed in a private factory to support them in improving their technology for cassava processing, making this demonstration open to other producers in that region. And now here, don't be scared of this chart. I will explain simply. The technology is something that is very related to the knowledge. Many mistakes of NGO, of international assistance programs are that they are focusing on the technology only. They are releasing technology, they are delivering technology to the farmers, but they don't prepare the farmers to use the technology. Many failures are because there is the technology, but there is no the knowledge. And there is the knowledge because there is no, for instance, the farm side, the family side to use the technology. So the technology is not something that we throw into a certain context, ecosystem, and it works because it is a good technology. It might be the best technology in the world, but if there are no the conditions to use it, like the knowledge, it won't work. And therefore, always we should look at technology as a solution that requires a complete and a complex mechanism of adoption and implementation. And obviously, as a prerequisite, requires credit. We need credit in place to implement the technology. Otherwise, we cannot access it. If we access it without technology, it won't work. If we don't have credit, the funds to implement it, we will never have technology. Therefore, this chart is to draw your attention on the complexity of technology. And therefore, Mongolia wants to start a own processing line. Perfect strategy according to the SMILE curve, perfect strategy for all we have said. But we need the technology and we need the knowledge. Therefore, one big effort is from the training onto the farmers, to everything, to reshape their chain to be consistent with the processing and not just the selling of raw materials. Selling raw materials is requiring certain requisites from the producer. If we start processing, we must have the raw materials ready for the processing there. Therefore, we will have to change something or more. This you will see, but training is necessary to shift from the current situation to the situation of own processing technology. For instance, in Georgia, now we are proposing a cooperative for the genetic improvement of livestock. A cooperative where we want to put together the large farms, the small farms, the inseminators as well. So it will be quite a hybrid cooperative, but in the condition of Georgia, they want to do that. I'm not in that very favor of having inseminators or the service provider and the farmers together as members of the same company. They would keep them separate. But in Georgia, they want to do that. And also here, before we start and in parallel with the starting of the cooperative, the initial actor with the initiators, we discovered that we need to create the farmers' awareness on the benefits of artificial insemination. Otherwise, we can have the potential to enter good technology, good semen for the cows, but the farmers don't use it because they don't know how to use it. They don't know the advantages, and therefore we go to another important point that we should look at in regarding technology, which is the link between us as agripreneurs and the research. That is important. This cooperative might be a junction. Like, for instance, might be the cooperative, not only if they want to be once more a platform, not one single farmer, but as a platform that is connected with the research to bring in the right technology, for instance, for the processing of the cashmere, which will be extremely needed at that point when they start. We mentioned credit. Here I just briefly introduce you to one, their friend in Azerbaijan, one of our farmers in the project, farming sheep, and he benefited a lot from an initial credit. Not much, 30,000 manat, which is $17,000, but it was enough to start an engine of innovation, because there was a program for young farmers, and this has changed a lot. In this case, it was not only a technology improvement. It was a minor the improvement of technology. The main improvement was related to the economy of scale. It scaled up its production capacity, and in this way he managed to enter better market, to start supplying better customers, better processors of their milk. So the importance of credit to start the engine of innovation. Here we have a slide on credit. Let's look at this once more with the eyes of the business plan and with the eyes of what we mentioned before about technology. Our business plan can serve to ask for credit or microcredit. We agree on that. Technology works if we have the competence, the knowledge to use it. Our business plan must present a clear request for credit, presenting our activity properly and justifying that if we get that money, we can use them properly. That is in practice, the advice from these examples. This friend in Azerbaijan was successful because he had experience already in farming sheep and cows as well, and he was scrutinized by the Young Farmer Development Program, and he was successful. This is something that we have to show, and therefore, in the group for fresh produce in Kyrgyzstan, the Kashmir, this is an example that I'm using today, we have to show that whatever we are doing, like processing of Kashmir, we can do that because we are able to adjust, to improve our production processes to this need of processing the Kashmir, for instance, and therefore that our the money that we are receiving how much it is. It doesn't matter if it is $10,000, if it is $1,000 or $1 million. The money we are receiving will be used properly because we know how. And now another example from Azerbaijan, because I love this example because it is very simple, very small scale, but extremely important. It is in apiculture. Apiculture is usually small. Apiculture beekeepers are usually small businesses, but with high turnover because the price of honey is often very high. And this guy, who is a beekeeper himself, is also a teacher at the vocational education and training school there in Bilasuvar, close to Agdam, south of Azerbaijan. And he connected the beekeepers with the school. So he made an effort to create in this school a knowledge platform, very simple. You see, all those are paint drawings that he made by himself, and he's teaching there other beekeepers under the umbrella of the vocational education training school local there. So a way to exploit favorable conditions, the existence of the vocational education and training school through the passion, the effort, the role and the activity of one competent person who can, a professor and school and beekeeper, he has the two sides, that can teach others. So this is another way, is a way of transferring technology, very simple, that may work, because this example is work. I met that day with 10 beekeepers that are attending the beekeeping courses that Iskander is giving, and they are very happy with the they are having their beehives. Specialization, therefore, you remember that we already talked about specialization, is something that has been around today in terms of market segmentation, in terms of being strong in the market, in terms of being able to have a grip and control the price formation. And I will give you a simple example, but big, from Italy, the country where I was born, regarding Apple, which is a large Apple consortium. And we will see how large dimension can be achieved in a very specialized business like Apple through the effort of the producers. You see that there is a strong locality, if we want to talk about that, a very clean, nice environment with mountains, with snow in winter, and a very nice landscape as a prerequisite for to do something effective. You see the figures. It is big, 680,000 tons of apples, one of the largest apple consortia in Europe, the largest in Italy. You see, there are 5,000 members with 10,000 hectares, meaning that the average of the members is not big. This is not a consortia of cooperatives, because there are 13 cooperatives that have big members. The average is less than 2 hectares each, and the majority have 1 hectare only. 1 hectare only, but they work together, and they are, in this way, they became the best, or one of the largest apple producers in Europe, and the largest in Italy. Through what? Through what Mongolia mentioned as an umbrella organization, which is this FOG, which is the brand, which is unifying, connecting 13 cooperatives, and these 13 cooperatives are unifying the 5,000 members. Obviously, now don't be scared of the figures. I don't want you from 92 to become 5,000 members. That's not the point. The point is that even many members, and it is difficult to put together many members, can achieve a great result despite they are small, if they have the right strategy, the right specialization. And in our examples, we have the condition because we are specialized. Cashmere and some other related products, wool, tea, very specialized, fruit and fresh produce. We can aim at that if we want. So don't be scared of the small dimension. The fragmentation is not a major problem at the production. It is, but we can address it if we want properly. The problem of fragmentation is when we are fragmented in the market, when we are small in the market. That is where we have to address. And this is one of the solutions. Address the initial fragmentation of the market before the cooperative started, many decades ago. It was in the last middle of the last century. They started putting together many small farmers. They became a leader in the market. And the turnover, you see, is almost half billion of euro, selling to, exporting to 58 customer countries. So a very successful business. And here we see the map of this consortia. The map is there to show you the hyper specialization, because they connected these 13 cooperatives under the umbrella organization in terms of territorial specialization and process specialization. For instance, by identifying the hub and the place for organic. They concentrated organic there. Therefore, they differentiated and they kept organic as it should, separated from the conventional cultivation, and they focused organic in a certain group of cooperative, in a certain cooperative, which is specialized to collect the organic apple from the producers of the group. So much effort for specialization. So the specialization, keep it as a key strategy for our future development. And here we can see their brands, which are own brand like this Marlene, or collective brand like Südtirol, which is the regional brand, or the PDO brand from the European Union. And you see up there Limburg, which is very close to where I am based now today. I am placed 25 kilometers from Limburg, is a research center. So they are strictly interrelated and interconnected with the research center, the local research center in that province of Italy. And to favor a strong integration of the transfer of technology from the research to the producers, in this case through the technicians of the 13 cooperatives of the consortium, because they have their technology, internal technology platform, their technicians. They are global get certified, but they have other certifications. I just mentioned the global get as the most relevant for them. And therefore, we are at the end of today. So your homework is obviously summarizing the what we said today. Therefore, particularly focusing on the marketing, your marketing, the branding, the custom. Let's start with the custom. So try to integrate your preparation and preparation of to the coaching session regarding the marketing, the customer, and the brand. we will have the coaching session in a couple of weeks, I guess, so that you have time. No, you know, Milind, will we identify two presenters to summarize this lecture for the fourth webinar? I
Yes.
would. Yeah,
I
please.
think
Let's
for
go.
the fourth webinar, we can focus on a recap instead of asking participants to share their homework, because the homework will be
Yes.
the start of the enterprise plan.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
let me just share
I
my
stop sharing.
screen.
I stop sharing.
Can you see already mine?
I can.
Okay.
What about you, the others? Myanmar.
Myanmar. Okay, so I hope that despite the difficulties in Myanmar,
Yeah, very
it will
difficult,
still be
nice but
possible.
difficult country this moment. It's a pity. Lao.
Lao. I'm not sure if we should ask Lao again, because they've
Again, yes.
they've
Again.
already presented before.
Let's select another.
Philippines.
Philippines is fine, yes. Philippines. Perfect. And then let's look for good. Okay, perfect.
Philippines and Myanmar.
And Myanmar, if they can.
If they can. Of course, we understand the situation in Myanmar, and I think some of the participants have been dropping off the call from time to time, so they might need to rehear or re-listen to the session. So we understand.
Yes.
Yeah, but we would appreciate if you can. And then Dario, just an update. Guys, initially we are planning to have one young agripreneur speaker from Lao to present also today. However, there is an upcoming thunderstorm in their area. So she had to leave the workshop, and we told her that she can just do that in our next webinar. So we will
Next
have
webinar.
so we will have two, one from the Philippines and one from Lao, who will be sharing their agri preneur experience. Their agripreneur experience.
Let's go next therefore. Let's hope nothing happens.
Yes, yes.
So,
Hope that she and her family and the other Lao participants are
very serious.
Okay, so I
Excellent.
guess
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dario. So I'll just if are there still questions for Dario before I
Absolutely.
any questions? If none, okay. So thank you very much to Dario and to our
Thank you very much.
participants.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Let's give
Thank you very much.
everyone a round of applause. So today is the day 3. Next week, we do not have a session. And then we will meet again on the week of, okay, let me just share my screen so that I can show you the calendar up is not visible pala. Wait, let me just. Essentially, our next session is on May. Okay, I'm showing you my calendar because there's no other way. I don't know, maybe not this one. Wait. Okay, so the next session is a coaching session. So the coaching session is another opportunity for each country. So this is on a per country basis. This will be an opportunity for you to touch base with Dario, as well as the business development officers of AFA. I'm not sure if you know them. It's Junie and Leo. So Junie is the one handling Southeast Asia, and Leo is the one handling EXA, so East, Central, and South Asia. So the coaching sessions will be an opportunity again for the participants to clarify any questions that you will have in the next in the previous 3
Ông
webinars.
làm gì đi nấu cơm đi.
Also, it will be an opportunity for you to ask questions about the draft enterprise plan, because the homework document that I will be circulating next week on Monday will already include the format for the business plan, incorporating what Dario has already discussed. So for example, he already discussed the pricing, the branding, the marketing, the context analysis. That's why you really have to do the context and situational analysis, guys, because that is part of the business plan. You cannot avoid it. So we will provide you all of that in one format. All participants are expected to do that next week. That's why we do not have any sessions next week, so that when we meet the following week, you can already show it to the business development officer and Dario, and you could ask them for their advice or suggestion. Okay? So take that opportunity, make sure that you are also prepared. You also have your questions written down if you have any, because each country, unfortunately, we have 30 minutes each for each country. So what's gonna happen is I will also circulate this, what do you call this Google Doc, and then this Google document lists down the availability of our business development officers. And then so automatically Junie will handle Southeast Asia, and then Leo again for East, Central, and South Asia. And then I think Dario, you're only available on May 17, no? Unfortunately, the business development officers cannot do it in just one day.
No.
Yep.
They cannot.
So maybe just the afternoon of 17 you're available, correct?
Yes, that is what we planned. Yeah.
But in any case, guys, don't worry. We can still give Dario, it's okay, right? We can still collect their for the sessions where you won't be able to come. We will of course submit your questions, your draft, your whatever to Dario, and he could just comment on it via email and so on.
Yes.
So okay. So there. So just to repeat everything. So number 1, on Monday, I will be circulating the homework. The homework is essentially the format already for the business plan, which we ask all participants to already answer. So you do not have to worry. This is just a draft. This is the final yet. We just want to know what your ideas are based on your learnings from the 3 webinar discussions that we've already had. Second, I will also circulate this schedule, and each country must sign up to the time slot that is listed here. It will happen, the allocation of the slot is on a first come first serve notice, guys. So for example, if Philippines chooses May 17, 10 a.m., then they already have that slot, and so on and so forth. Because well, we're sorry for the limitation, for the scheduling limitation. It's hard to there are many activities nowadays, so yeah. And then we'll have the next webinar on the 24th, of May. And in the 24th of May, Philippines and Myanmar will do a recap of what has been discussed today.
Yes, they will. At the beginning, as usual.
There is comment from Mongolia, Biamba, if you could translate. Dario, is it okay for you to share your
Sure,
email?
absolutely. You can share to everyone.
Okay.
Definitely.
So actually, I always CC Dario in all of my emails to the focal point. So
yes,
yeah,
but
so
I can write it there.
yeah. And wait, let me just, I can copy paste it now in the is it the dot cloud, Dario?
It is not cloud, yes, but I have two. So you can put also another in case
Okay,
there
the
are
Gmail one.
problems with the other one. Yes, you can put also Gmail, which is very popular.
But please
and very
CC me
flexible.
as well when you email Dario, guys.
Always. Always, yes, please.
Dario. So let me put that in the chat. Dario at kakamisi.cloud. Ay, mali. Cloud. Or Dario kakamisi@gmail.com. So it's in the chat box. For
Exactly.
me, please do not forget to CC me, farmers.org.
Yes.
Or
So we can.
kabuhay@gmail.com. Okay. So there. So please expect an email on Monday with further instructions.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. So
Milena, can you stay just 1 minute? So
yes.
we comment. Thank you very much to everyone. Very, very,
Thank
very
you,
nice session today
everyone.
from my side. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Maraming salamat.
Prego, chi parla italiano? Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. In Florence is a nice city. You too.
Have a
Ciao,
nice
ciao, ciao.
day.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Bye-bye.
Thank you to our interpreters, as always.
Yes,
You're
thank
the
you very
best.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wait, I'll start removing people so that
Yes, yeah.
remove. Okay.
Good. How was it, Milene?
Yeah, I think, well, it seems like well, the number of participants decreased. So I have to, well, not really decreased. When I check, only actually all of them are present, except all of them are represented except Cambodia. So actually, logistically, I have to also send them an email to remind them that there is a partnership agreement ongoing, that actually there is a commitment from each NGO to send at least 2 participants in all webinars and coaching sessions. So, and there were some funds, although very small, that was provided to facilitate the translation and
The translation as well. You
meal,
hire the
the
Cambodia.
product,
Cambodia is a separate language or is similar
Yes.
to other languages? Similar.
yes, they have
Specific
Khmer.
language.
So they have to in
Ah,
order
Khmer,
for
yes,
them-
Khmer.
yeah, in order for them to catch up, I'll tell them that they can have their next week perhaps to re-listen to